Back to another video tutorial of Royce Academy. In this video tutorial I am going to discuss about a very important aspect which is coming in under the section of hormone basically. Okay, in the subject of the hormone only it is present. In this particular discussion I am going to deal with how the calcium ions are being channeled via the blood and the balance of the calcium ions is being maintained in the blood with the help of the thyroid hormones. Okay, the thyroid and the derivative of the thyroid hormones. So basically it's a very important aspect that is included within the subject matter of hormones, or the chemical control and the coordination in a body, in which the calcium hormone homeostasis is being balanced or maintained. Homeostasis means the normal level of the calcium hormone is being maintained in the blood, because if the calcium hormone normal levels of the calcium ions, because if the calcium ions, not only the calcium ions, if any kind of ions suddenly increases too much beyond the normal value, okay, beyond the desired value, then it results into toxicity, or blood makes the blood heavy. Okay, in that case it needs to be rejected or checked. The excess of it, or the deficiency of it needs to be checked. So nothing is good, like excess, too much surplus calcium ions is also not good, or too much less calcium ions present, or deficient calcium ion condition is also not good. So how the parathyroid glands are helping in maintaining this calcium homeostasis, let us have a look. Okay, the name of our topic is calcium homeostasis. Calcium homeostasis. In this calcium homeostasis, what we need to understand, let me draw some diagram first. Okay, suppose if I draw the vocal cord, vocal cord means the larynx. Okay, the larynx, the Adam's apple, which is present right here in the neck, the angular V-shaped cartilaginous outgrowth. The entire trachea is made with the cricoid C-shaped and the arytenoid cartilages. The vocal cord is also a part of that. Okay, a part of that. It is associated with the trachea only. The larynx or the voice box is associated with that. It is a very sophisticated and small portion, and a highly mechanized portion, which is associated along with the thyroid gland in front of this trachea. Now, from the anterior view or from the front view, if we look in the anatomical section of this thyroid gland, it roughly looks like this. It roughly looks like this. This is the anterior portion. Okay, this is nothing but this slit like aperture is nothing but the portion where through which the this area, this particular area that you are seeing here, is actually present in a bulge-like form. It is protruded. This part is protruded bulge-like towards the forward. This is the forward area, and this area, this vacuum, this gap here present here, this particular gap present here is actually nothing but the windpipe. Okay, the aperture through which the air is passing, the role play of air, the exchange of the air is happening in order to produce this sound which I am talking, which I am conveying, that entire thing is happening. Now, how the parathyroid glands are present around here? The thyroid glands are present in almost this fashion. Okay, in this way the thyroid glands are being arranged. Okay, so this is how the thyroid gland is present from the anterior view. And now, if we extend the windpipe towards the trachea, it will project like this. Okay, it will go on projecting like this. These are the cricoid and artenoid cartilages, which are elastic in nature. Okay, less elastic, it's stretchable, rubbery kind of appearance. Now, let this be the anterior view. If we consider the posterior view, okay, let me consider the posterior view for this particular diagram. So, in the posterior view, how does it look? The posterior view is arranged somewhat in this fashion. This voice box that is present here that I drew right here. Now this voice box will have that gap over here. This is the gap through which the wind play is happening. The wind play is happening through this gap, through which this gap is extending. Okay, this gap is going on gradually extending downward. This is the posterior view of the vocal cord, and here the artenoid cartilages or the cricoid cartilages are present. Now in this posterior view, how is this vocal cord, how is the thyroid gland present? This thyroid gland in the posterior view is present in a somewhat different way. Okay, this is what the thyroid gland is present in its posterior view. And now the posterior orientation here is present somewhat like this. This cartilaginous end are ending with the cricoid or artenoid cartilages from the behind, from the back side, and this channel is being extending or this gap is extending gradually towards downward, and around the gap it is the cartilages are present. Okay, the cartilages are extending. So this is what the inside is, the gap is, how the gap is extending towards the bronchus, and it is projecting in the bronchus and bronchioles and all directly from here, and from here comes the role play of the wind, and here the cartilages are present at the either extremities of the vocal cord or the trachea. Now this is roughly how the posterior view is present. This is the anterior view. The anterior view is having the extension or the it's a covering or boundedness of the thyroid gland over the windpipe. The thyroid gland is extending, or the thyroid gland is encircling the windpipe, and in the posterior view the thyroid glands, the two extremities, right thyroid and the left thyroid, along with the parathyroid glands, are present as a dead extreme end or dead extremities or dead end. Up to here there is no extension or further reconnection or further attachment of the two lobes in behind the trachea or behind the windpipe in the posterior view. Only the attachment is present in the anterior view, that is the anterior view or the frontal view, and in the dorsal view this is what it is. Now if we consider, let us consider the parathyroid cells. The parathyroid cells are present here. Okay, the parathyroid cells are present here. Which helps in secreting the parathyroid hormones. These are called the principal cells, these two large dark colored cells, large red, dark red, are actually the principal cells, okay, which helps in secreting the parathyroid hormone from this part. So that is the anterior and this is the posterior. Now let us have a normal level of calcium. Okay, suppose we consider this barricade as normal, this barricade as normal Ca2 plus level. Okay, in this side also if we write normal Ca2 plus level. Now how these two, thyroid and the parathyroid glands, how are they functioning in order to maintain the normal calcium level? Okay, consider at first two different conditions are there. Okay, right? Consider first the increased level of calcium. Okay, suppose at a particular instance we are having a level of calcium which is in this area. This is the level where the calcium hormones are the calcium ions within the blood is increasing. Okay, this is nothing but blood, right? Let me write blood in these two cases. Let me write blood. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me draw an artery. Okay, artery or blood vessel. Suppose this be an artery. Now suppose the Ca2 plus ions are increasing, right? The Ca2 plus ions are more. At a particular instance, the Ca2 plus ions are too much high within the blood vessel. This is a blood vessel. Now in that case what will happen? When the Ca2 plus ions are at particular instant, it is certainly higher than the normal value. This up arrow means higher value. Then in that case what happens? The excess Ca2 plus ions would be carried via blood to where? Would be carried via blood to the normal thyroid gland. That is, this would trigger the normal thyroid gland. And the cells present over here in the normal thyroid gland are known as the parafollicular cells. Parafollicular cells of thyroid gland. Now these parafollicular cells of the thyroid gland, what will they do? They would secrete calcitonin. These cells would secrete a hormone named as calcitonin or thyrocalcitonin. Calcitonin. Calcitonin or thyrocalcitonin. The function of this calcitonin is to decrease this calcium level from the blood. Okay, this calcitonin hormone, what it does, it would help in carrying this excess Ca2 plus ions towards bone, towards our bone. Okay, let me draw a bone here. Okay. Now the calcitonin hormone will carry the Ca2 plus ions. How? The calcitonin what will they do? This hormone will come and open the voltage gated ion channels for the Ca2 plus. Okay, or the Ca2 plus ion channels, for which what will happen? This Ca2 plus ions will enter, this Ca2 plus ions would enter into the bone matrix. Okay, it will enter into the bone matrix. The Ca2 plus ions will come right up here into the bone matrix, and as a result the level of the Ca2 plus ions from the blood will drop. Okay, the Ca2 plus ions from the blood will decrease. Now when the Ca2 plus ions in the blood is decreasing too much, suppose here I write, draw the decreasing sign. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me give the increasing sign in this area, because this particular action is happening here. So let me give the increasing sign in this particular area. Okay. And let me give the decreasing sign in this particular area. Okay. Now, when the Ca2 plus ions are gradually decreasing due to the action of this calcitonin, which will open the Ca2 plus ion channels, in that case the Ca2 plus ion channels will fall. Too much action of calcitonin would decrease the Ca2 plus ions in blood. It would decrease below the normal Ca2 plus value. This normal line, it would decrease. Now in this case what would happen? When the normal Ca2 plus ions are decreasing, these Ca2 plus ions will trigger this decreased value of the Ca2 plus ions. What will they do? They will start creating, triggering or activating the principal cells. These cells are nothing but principal cells of parathyroid. Principal cells of parathyroid gland. Now these principal cells of the parathyroid gland, what will they do? They will secrete a hormone called parathyroid hormone. Okay, parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid. Now this parathyroid hormone, what will this hormone do? This will again via blood capillaries, via the blood vessels, it will again go back to the bone. It will again go back to the bone and bind to the bone surface. The parathyroid will bind onto the bone surface and help in opening the Ca2 plus ion channels of the bone. Now what will it do? Instead of pushing the Ca2 plus ions into the bone, the parathyroid hormone will help in the outflux. The Ca2 plus ions which were present in the bony matrix previously, okay, it will help in the outflux of the Ca2 plus ions, which will come into the blood. Now, it will also do another thing. When excess Ca2 plus ions are coming out from the bone matrix, this is the bone matrix. When excess Ca2 plus ions are coming out from it into the blood, this parathyroid will also help in triggering another or activating another gland called another organ that is nothing but the kidney. Okay, that is nothing but the kidney. Now, when the parathyroid hormone is activating the kidney, cells, this parathyroid hormone will also do one thing. It will help in the secretion of activating the kidney cells, or there are some specialized cells which is present within the cortex and cortex of the kidney specifically. Those are known as calcitriol secreting cells. It will help, the parathyroid hormone will help the kidney in order to produce a hormone called calcitriol. Okay. Who is functioning this? The parathyroid. The parathyroid was taking out the Ca2 plus ions from the bony matrix into the blood, and when excess Ca2 plus ions are coming into the blood due to the action of this parathyroid hormone will again trigger the cells that are present in the kidney, which would secrete the calcitriol hormone. Okay. Now this calcitriol hormone, what will it do? It will go on increasing the concentration of Ca2 plus. This calcitriol hormone will help in uptaking or receiving the Ca2 plus ions from the small intestine. Okay. From the small intestine, this calcitriol would help in receiving or uptaking the Ca2 plus ions from the small intestine and again deliver them to blood. It will help in the reabsorption. Of the hormone, reabsorption of the Ca2 plus ions, It will help in the reabsorption of the Ca2 plus ions from the food, the digested food that is passing through the small intestine. From that food, it will help in reuptake of or reabsorption of the Ca2 plus ions, and it will carry the Ca2 plus ions again into the blood. Now, what is happening here? Again, the concentration of the Ca2 plus ions are increasing. Okay. Again, the concentrations of the Ca2 plus ions are increasing, and again it is rising above this normal value. Again, the Ca2 plus ions are rising above the normal value. Then, in this case, what will happen? Again, when the Ca2 plus ions are increasing beyond the normal value, it will again continue, or it will again partake the action of calcitonin hormone. It will again proceed or lead itself, the increase in the CA2 plus ion will again proceed towards the pathway or subject to the cycle of the calcitonin hormone role play. Okay, it would again encompass this calcitonin hormone by triggering the parafollicular cells of thyroid gland. Again, the calcitonin cells would open the CA2 plus ion channels of the bone matrix, and the CA2 plus ions will enter into the bone matrix and get stored there, thereby decreasing the CA2 plus ion concentration in the blood. And when it is again decreasing, again the decrease in CA2 plus ion concentration will trigger the principal cells of parathyroid gland, which will secrete the parathyroid hormone that will help in efflux or outflux of the CA2 plus from the bone matrix, which was stored, which was previously containing stored concentration of CA2 plus, and it will help in increasing or bringing the CA2 plus ions from the bone matrix into the blood again. This parathyroid hormone will do this and increase or balance the level of CA2 plus ions. Now, this continuous secretion of the parathyroid will again trigger some specialized cells present in the cortex of the kidney, which helps in secreting the calcitriol hormone. Cortex, it might also it might be present in the medulla also. I am not I'm very particularly I am not remembering it that right now, but there are some specialized cells that are present in the kidney. It will help in triggering those particular cells. Specifically, it might be present in the cortex of kidney, which will help in secretion of the calcitriol. Okay, the calcitriol is another hormone which would uptake or reabsorb the CA2 plus ions from the small intestine, from the partially digested food of the small intestine, and again go on increasing the CA2 plus levels in the blood. So this is how the normal CA2 plus ion concentration, this normal CA2 plus ion concentration is highly maintained by these three hormones particularly. One is the calcitonin secreted from parafollicular cells, and the one is the parathyroid secreted from the parathyroid gland, and third one is the calcitriol secreted from kidney. Okay, so this is how all these three different hormones are playing its role in order to maintain the calcium homeostasis pathway. Okay, so hope you like this video, and so please do share this video as much as possible, and subscribe my channel, and like the video, and also comment down in the comment section below if you have any further doubt or queries. Thank you.